Someone once said that patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. And in our newest Devos series, Wait for It, How to Develop Patience, we're going to be talking about, well, patience. And if COVID has taught us anything, it's that we all struggle to some degree or another with patience. And don't get me wrong, when it comes to the pandemic, it's difficult to be patient. We all want this to end and for life to get back to normal, to be able to go to the movies with our friends or visit our extended families or just be able to go to the mall and drink bubble tea. I don't even know if Brantford has a bubble tea place, but regardless. At one point in time in history, the Jewish people, they found themselves in a dire situation. They were in captivity in Babylon. And as you can probably guess, captivity was not a fun thing to be in. And so they wanted it to end. They wanted their lives to get back to normal. And in the midst of this hardship and suffering, the prophet Jeremiah, he comes to them, he says, I have some bad news for you, but I also have some good news. First, the bad news. You're going to remain in captivity for 70 years. Yes, you heard that right, 70 years. That is a long time. But here's the good news, and I want you to hear them in Jeremiah's own words as he shares the message that God had given him. Jeremiah 29:11 says this, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. You see, they wanted an immediate rescue from the difficult situation. But God's response was not to provide that immediate rescue. Rather, God promised that he had a plan to prosper them, in the midst of their current situation, in the midst of captivity. I really do believe we will get back to normal, but it's not going to happen right away. And don't worry, I don't think it's going to take 70 years. But in the meantime, you and I need to practice patience. We need to practice patience and take comfort in Jeremiah 29:11, knowing that it is not a promise to immediately rescue us from hardship or suffering, but rather it's a promise that God has a plan for our lives, regardless of what's going on, regardless of our current situation. He can work through it to prosper us, to give us a hope, and to give us a future. Thanks so much for watching. I know many of you are headed back to school for the first time in months, and so we hope you have a great week as you reconnect with friends and as you begin to learn in person once again. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.